Welcome to the deep dive. Today, you and I are getting into something really fun. A list of the world's most expensive cars.
Oh, yeah. Which list are we looking at?
This one's from 10 Most Today, published back in October 2018. So a bit of a snapshot in time.
Ah, okay. 2018. Interesting. Things move fast in that world.
They really do. And it's not just cars for getting around, obviously. They're more like, well, rolling art pieces,
Right.
pushing the limits of what's possible.
Absolutely. They're statements as much as machines. Real examples of incredible engineering and sometimes just pure audacity.
Exactly. And for a lot of people, these are the absolute dream cars. So our mission today is basically to unpack this list.
Figure out what makes these things tick and why they cost, well, so much money.
Yeah, we'll pull out the juicy details, give everyone a shortcut to understanding this like ultra exclusive club of automobiles.
Sounds good. Looking back at a 2018 list is kind of like opening a time capsule, isn't it? See what the peak looked like then.
Definitely. It's fascinating to see what was considered the absolute top tier just a few years ago.
And it's not just the price tag, it's the stories behind them, the tech.
For sure. Okay, so let's get rolling. Number 10 on this list. The Zenvo ST1. Price tag, $1.2 million.
The Zenvo.
Right.
Danish, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
From Zealand, Denmark. The article calls it a super handsome rolling art piece.
And under the hood, it's got something pretty special, if I remember correctly.
It does. A 6.8-liter V8. But it's not just a big V8.
No, it's got dual-forced induction. So that means it's using both a supercharger and a turbocharger.
Wow, okay, so that's pretty complex. What's the point of having both?
Well, the idea is to get the best of both worlds. The supercharger gives you instant response down low in the rev range, and the turbo kicks in for big power higher up. It kind of smooths out the power delivery, but mainly it just means massive power.
And massive is definitely the word. Get this, 1,104 horsepower
Whoa.
and 1,054 pound-feet of torque, all going to the rear wheels.
Okay, that's a handful. You'd need some serious skill to manage that.
No kidding. And it's just interesting, isn't it? Coming from Denmark. Not exactly the first place you think of for hypercars.
Right, not Italy, not Germany. It really shows that passion and expertise for this kind of extreme engineering can prop up anywhere. Kind of a niche boutique builder.
Okay, let's move up the list. Number 9, slightly pricier at $1.4 million. The Ferrari LaFerrari.
Ah, the LaFerrari. Now there's a name. Literally the Ferrari.
Yeah, it definitely sounds dramatic. The article calls it flamboyant on the road. What's the big deal with this one? Speed.
Oh, absolutely speed.
Yeah.
But a big part of that comes down to weight, or lack of it.
How light are we talking?
Dry weight, so without fluids, it's under 2,800 pounds, which is incredibly light for a car with its kind of powertrain.
And that powertrain was pretty advanced for its time, right? It wasn't just a V12.
Exactly. It was one of the early hybrid hypercars. It paired a massive V12 engine with electric motor, KERS system, basically, like in Formula One.
Right. And that combo means acceleration is just bonkers.
Oh, yeah. The article says 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 3.0 seconds.
Under 3 seconds.
Yes.
Like barely have time to blink.
And it keeps pulling. 0 to 124 miles per hour in under 7 seconds.
Jeez. Talk speed.
Around 217 miles per hour, according to the article. Just staggering performance for a road car back then.
Was that hybrid tech like becoming the norm in 2018 for these top cars?
It was definitely cutting edge. The LaFerrari, the McLaren P1, Porsche 918, that holy trinity really led the charge in using hybrid power for performance enhancement, not just economy. It was about pushing boundaries.
Okay, moving on. Number 8, also listed at $1.4 million, we have the Pagani Huayra.
The Huayra, another amazing machine. And the name itself is pretty evocative.
It is. Where does it come from again?
It's named after Huayra Tata, the god of the winds in the Quechua language, used by the Incas in Peru.
God of the Winds. Okay, that definitely sets expectations. How do you say it? Huayra.
Huayra. The article points out the name is almost as cool as the performance. It fits, doesn't it?
It really does. So a God of the Winds needs a pretty potent engine, I assume.
You assume correctly.
Yeah.
Pagani sourced the engine from Mercedes-AMG.
Ah, okay. Smart move. What kind of engine?
It's a 6.0-liter V12, but unlike some others, this one uses twin turbochargers.
Twin turbos. So lots of power.
Definitely, around 620 horsepower, but the really big number is the torque, something like 740 pound-feet. Huge pulling power.
That's incredible. It really shows that level of specialization, right? Pagani focuses on the chassis, the aerodynamics, the art of it, and partners with someone like AMG for the heart.
Exactly. It's a common strategy in this ultra-high-end space. Lets each company do what they do best.
Okay, staying in that $1.4 million zone for number 7, the Aston Martin
Why
177.
not the 177? Aston Martin really going all out, trying to blend their usual luxury and style with just, like, brutal performance.
Yeah, the article frames it that way. A mix of luxury and speed. What's under the hood here? Is it also turbocharged?
No, interestingly, the 177 went a different route. It has a massive 7.3-liter V12, but it's naturally aspirated.
Naturally aspirated. So no turbos, no superchargers.
Correct. Just pure atmospheric pressure forcing air into those big cylinders.
Wow. Does it still make serious power without forced induction?
Oh, yes. It was putting out 750 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. A huge output for a naturally aspirated engine.
750 horsepower. Naturally aspirated. That's impressive. And the article says this made it the fastest Aston Martin ever built at that time.
Yep. A significant claim for a brand like Aston Martin, with all their history.
What's the appeal of going naturally aspirated when turbos can give you such big numbers? Is it the sound, the response?
It's often about the character. Naturally aspirated engines tend to have a sharper throttle response, a more linear power delivery, and, yeah, very distinct, often glorious sound. For some purists, that's the ultimate driving experience.
Makes sense. And it wasn't slow either, right?
Not at all. Top speed was quoted around 220 miles per hour, and 0 to 60 in about 3.5 seconds. Still incredibly quick.
Okay, now we hit a new price level. Number 6 is the Koenigsegg 1.1. Price. A cool $2.0 million.
Yeah, $2 million. That's where it starts to get, well, even more serious.
Right. The article even jokes about it, saying for that money you could buy a mansion or like 80 Mazda MX-5s.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It puts it in perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What makes one car worth that much?
It really does. The article calls it a Swedish-made megacar.
Megacar. That fits Koenigsegg. They don't really do things by halves.
No kidding. The writer kind of implies, if you're a mega millionaire and you want a megacar, maybe it makes sense.
Maybe. So what makes the 1.1 mega? What's the hook?
Well, the name itself is the clue. 1.1.
Ah, the power-to-weight ratio.
Exactly. The goal was 1 horsepower for every 1 kilogram of weight.
Which is an absolutely insane target. That requires not just a hugely powerful engine, but also relentless focus on lightweight construction. Carbon fiber everywhere.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate expression of performance through engineering balance. Crazy stuff.
Truly next level.
Okay, number 5. The Ferrari F60 America. Price tag, $2.5 million.
F60 America, another limited edition Ferrari.
Yeah, and the article makes a funny point right at the start. It says mechanically, it's similar to the F12 Berlinetta.
But then quickly adds, not exactly a Fiat Panda, though.
Ha ha ha. Yeah. Good clarification. So it shares some bones with the F12, but it's obviously something way more special.
Definitely. What's the engine? Still a V12.
Yep. A 6.2-liter V12 churning out 740 horsepower.
Strong numbers. And quick.
Very. 0 to 60 mile per hour in just 3.1 seconds. So performance is definitely up there in hypercar territory.
So if it shares tech with the S12, what drives that $2.5 million price? Exclusivity.
That seems to be the main thing. The article calls it a flamboyant, rare species. It connects it back to Ferrari's history in the 50s and 60s, building special, tailor-made cars for wealthy American clients.
Ah, so it's tapping into that heritage. Limited production run, bespoke design elements, probably?
Exactly, paying homage to that tradition, specifically for the American market, makes it super collectible.
Gotcha. Rarity and heritage commanding a huge premium. Makes sense in the Ferrari world.
Okay, now we're really getting into the stratosphere. Number 4, the Mansory Vivere Bugatti Veyron. Price, $3.4 million.
Wow. $3.4 million. And it's a modified Veyron.
Yeah, so you take the Bugatti Veyron, which was already, legendary for its speed and cost back in 2018.
An absolute icon, the car that broke the 250-mile-per-hour barrier.
Right. And then Mansory, the customization house, gets their hands on it.
Okay, so Mansory is known for, let's say, bold modifications.
Yeah.
What did they do to the Veyron?
The article focuses on the aesthetics. It mentions this really elegant black and white design, calls it so beautiful it looks like it belongs in an art museum.
Interesting. So less about adding even more power, maybe, and more about making it a unique visual statement.
Seems like it. It's positioned as one of the fastest and most expensive cars, but the emphasis here is on that bespoke, art-like quality.
So owning a Veyron says you're wealthy and appreciate engineering. Owning a Mansory Vivere Veyron says something else. Maybe about wanting ultimate exclusivity and a certain artistic style.
Yeah, I think that's it. It takes that exclusivity to another level entirely. A blend of insane engineering and very personalized design.
Right. Making your multi-million-dollar hypercar even more unique.
Okay, staying at that same $3.4 million price point for number 3, the W Motors Lykan Hypersport.
Mm-hmm. The Lykan Hypersport, the one from the movie.
Exactly. This is the car that gained a ton of fame from Furious 7.
The scene where it jumps between the skyscrapers in Dubai.
That's the one. The article calls it a truly magnificent display of power in a blockbuster movie. Hard to argue with that.
Definitely made an impression.
Yeah.
A Lebanese supercar making a huge splash on the global stage.
Yeah, and the article mentions it having royalty status. Do you think that Hollywood fame really bumped up its desirability and price?
Oh, undoubtedly. That kind of exposure is massive.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just the movie. The Lykan Hypersport had some genuinely unique, almost outrageous features.
Like what?
Well, the headlights, for instance. They could be optioned with embedded jewels, diamonds, rubies, sapphires.
Seriously, jewels in the headlights. Seriously. And things like holographic displays inside. Very sci-fi, very over the top. Combine that with extremely limited production and the movie fame. Yeah, $3.4 million starts to make a certain kind of sense in that context.
Wow. Okay, royalty status indeed. Now for the final two. Number 2 is the Lamborghini Veneno, with an astronomical price of $4.5 million.
The Veneno. Lamborghini absolutely dialed the aggression up to 11, maybe 12 with that one.
Yeah, the article really focuses on how insane it looks. It calls it one of the most fabulous of all cars, and says it looks like it isn't real at all.
That's a good description. It's all sharp angles, vents, wings. It barely looks road legal. It's like a Le Mans prototype that escaped the track.
Totally. The article adds that it looks ready to conquer space, not just the road, like it's always ready to fly.
Haha, yeah, that captures it. Pure visual drama. Was it just about the looks, or is the performance equally crazy? Performance was definitely there based on the Aventador, so a big V12, lots of power. But I think the article implies the main driver for that $4.5 million price was the extreme design and the hyper-exclusivity.
How many did they make?
We're few, right?
Extremely few. Only a handful of coupes and roadsters. So it was as much a collector's item, a piece of rolling sculpture from day one.
Right. Lamborghini creating something utterly visually arresting and pricing it accordingly. Pure shock value, almost.
Okay, and that brings us to number 1, the most expensive car on this 2018 list. The Koenigsegg CCXR Trevita, price tag $4.8 million.
Nearly $5 million. Wow. Another Koenigsegg at the very top.
Yep, and this one sounds like an absolute monster. Engine first, 4.8-liter V8.
Okay, smaller displacement than some others, but Koenigsegg works magic with their engines. Forced induction.
Oh yeah, dual superchargers, not turbos this time, twin superchargers.
Dual superchargers on a V8. That's going to mean serious power.
You got it. The numbers are just huge. 1,004 horsepower.
Over 1,000 horsepower.
And then 797 pound-feet of
Right.
torque. Just massive numbers. The article makes a joke about it, right? Something about overtaking.
Yeah, it says with that much power, overtaking semi-trucks on the freeway becomes effortless. Which is kind of funny to imagine in a $4.8 million car.
You're probably not commuting in your CCXR Trevita,
Yeah.
are you? So what else pushes it to almost $5 million? It can't just be the power.
Extreme exclusivity, even more so than the others. The article states only 3 were ever made.
3 in the entire world.
That's what it says. 3 units. That alone makes it unbelievably valuable. But there's something else unique, too. The finish.
A finish? What about it?
It's called the Trevita, which apparently means 3 whites in Swedish. Koenigsegg developed a special way to treat the carbon fiber
Okay.
so that the weave itself shimmers like it's coated in diamonds when the light hits it. A white carbon fiber that sparkles.
Whoa. Diamond-coated carbon fiber. Or looks like it.
Looks like it, yeah. A proprietary Koenigsegg diamond weave finish. Incredibly difficult and time-consuming to produce, apparently.
Okay, that's unique. Combine only 3 ever made with a diamond sparkle carbon fiber body and over 1,000 horsepower. Yeah, I can see how you get to $4.8 million.
It's just wild, isn't it? The article calls the combination of performance and price almost rib-tickling. It's so extreme, it's almost funny.
It really is. It shows that at the absolute peak, you're buying something beyond a car. It's a unique piece of technology, art, and history. The pinnacle of 2018 automotive extravagance.
So, wrapping up this deep dive, it's pretty clear these cars from 2018 were way more than just transport.
Oh, definitely. They were showcases of engineering, wild design, and just incredible expense.
Yeah, a testament to pushing boundaries in every direction: performance, materials,
Yeah.
aesthetics, and price.
They really represent the absolute peak of what car manufacturers could dream up and actually build back then. A fascinating glimpse into that hyper-exclusive world.
It really is. And, looking at all this, the incredible engineering, the art, the uh, frankly staggering cost, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Wonder what?
What single element do you think truly justifies the price tag for cars like these? Is it the raw power? Is it the groundbreaking tech? The bespoke design? Or is it just, the simple fact that almost no one else on Earth can have one?
That's a great question. What is the ultimate driver of value at that level?
Yeah, something for everyone to think about. What's your personal definition of that kind of extreme value and luxury? Anyway, thanks for joining us for this deep dive.